Before we begin, I want to give out a quick disclaimer that I will be mentioning other content creators in this video, but only for the purpose of comparison and informing viewers. I do not condone witch hunts of any kind, nor do I encourage anyone in my audience or anyone else who might see this video to go after anyone mentioned in this video, because that's not the point of it. I encourage open discussions and criticism of any points I make in this video, but I don't condone hate. Obviously, if you write something like, "Tracy Bun, I hope you die," I'm gonna block you from commenting. We can all have a safe and normal discussion here without resorting to toxicity. I want to talk about the misogyny in this game, and not just with the characters, although that definitely exists too, but I want to prioritize on the people in this community itself and mainly the content creators. There's a very good video that I'll put a link to in the description if you want to watch, one that focuses mostly on the misogyny relating to how the community treats the characters in the game itself, since it won't be the focus of my video, but it's still an important discussion on its own as well. This video will primarily be about how female content creators in this community are treated compared to the male ones, and I'll be actively trying to convince you that this is a problem that exists with evidence and examples. If you're active within the TikTok Identity 5 community, you've probably heard of a recent situation with a TikToker named Memory. I won't be going too into detail on this situation, but I will be mentioning it because it was what pushed me to make this video to begin with. Memory began to make videos with her speaking in them, and several people made videos talking about her voice and making fun of her. It got to the point her comments were spammed with people talking about her voice and making other rude comments. This went on for weeks. People then took this opportunity of Memory getting hate to spread other more serious rumors. People immediately believed these rumors without even hearing Memory's side of the story first. Even after Memory has addressed and cleared up these rumors, and it's been months since this situation happened, Memory is still actively getting hate everywhere she goes. I'm bringing this up because it's the most recent example of blatant misogyny in this community, and also because I'd like to ask if you've ever seen a male in this community get ridiculed in this same way. I can name multiple examples of this exact thing happening to several women, most notably Cherry Wine and even myself. Let's talk about Cherry Wine. Cherry Wine is one of the oldest content creators in this community, making videos almost every single day since the beta days of this game. Yet she is one of the most hated people in this community. Why is that? Cherry Wine doesn't speak to anyone, usually teams with her friends, doesn't cause any drama in the community, so why is she so hated? You may have heard one rumor that she is pretending to be female to get gifts from people. I want you to actually think about how stupid that sounds. First of all, Cherry Wine's friend requests are off, so if she was trying to get people to gift her, that's a pretty dumb thing to do. She also regularly changes her username, because I can only assume people send her tons of requests because of how popular she is. So again, if she was trying to get people to add her to gift her, that's a pretty dumb thing to do. And looking at her account or any of her videos can show you she doesn't need anyone to gift her. She can buy anything she wants in the game on her own. What actual evidence to this claim have you actually seen? Have you seen any proof whatsoever that this is true? If you're gonna bring up that Cherry Wine face reveal pic that was spread around a few years ago, people have literally grabbed random people's photos on Reddit and claimed it was me before. So it wouldn't be out of the ordinary if people were doing that to Cherry Wine as well. Well, everyone else is saying it, so it has to be true, right? Everyone can't be wrong. And my response to that is, are you really going to purposely misgender someone who's already stated her pronouns just over a rumor with absolutely no basis or evidence? I also want to mention that this sort of rumor is common with women in this community, because before I started doing voiceovers, people were trying to say similar things about me, but it's nowhere to the extent that Cherry Wine is at. When was the last time someone started a rumor that a male in this community was pretending to be male, or purposely misgendered them? I've personally looked into each rumor about Cherry and could find no evidence or even any call-out posts about her. People have called her toxic too, but I don't think emoting at the exit gate is a valid reason to create an entire hate mob over someone, especially when male content creators do the same thing and much worse and don't get called toxic or canceled over it. I also blindly believed some of these rumors about her in the past, and I want to publicly apologize for that. When it comes to women, the community is more likely to blindly believe a rumor despite it not being founded or coming from a bad source. Yet when a male is accused of something similar or even worse, there needs to be hard evidence to get the community on board with it. And even then, people still try to argue and defend the men. I can't argue this point without bringing up Nubspector and Akatsu Hearts, so let's talk about them next. I find it fascinating that to this day, there are still videos being made about me hating on me, and if you ask any of these people why exactly they hate me, either they won't give you a clear answer or they'll say I did literally everything wrong a human can do. But don't worry, that doesn't stop people from believing it anyway. Meanwhile, we have people in this community like Nubspector, who there is bounds of evidence for the things he said and done, and despite that, the guy gets pretty much completely left alone. Nobody makes videos about this guy. He's not getting people spamming his comments, like I do. He's not getting people starting hate campaigns against him, like I have. He's not even getting properly called out. It's like absolutely nobody cares what this guy did. except me, so let me tell you about it. He's outwardly expressed his homophobia and claimed it's justified because of where he lives.
No, I don't support LGBT, but I just like respect the existence of LGBT. Yeah, but I don't support.
He said racial derogatory terms to refer to Enchantress.
The monkey time. Hey, change now. You don't want just monkey you. You want to find another monkey you.
And he, unlike the community who says misogyny doesn't exist, is openly sexist and has said women shouldn't be playing this game. Geisha Gaming, who is a huge creator in this community, even called this guy out for his sexism, and still nobody cared because women's opinions in this community are just not as valued as much as men's are. The only time I've ever seen male content creators get actual consequences for their actions was when another male content creator called them out. Take what happened with Azriel IDV, for example. You had several girls coming up talking about this guy being a creep for months, and yet he only got taken serious when another man made a video about him. It's not like people didn't know about the allegations beforehand, they just didn't care. Because again, the opinions of women are not as valued in this community, and people are more willing to overlook the things we say in support of their favorite male creator instead. Moving on to Akatsu Hearts, this guy genuinely shocks me to my core of why he's even still around. Honestly, this dude needs to be in jail. Getting straight to the point, he's a rumor. For sake of not getting demonetized, I have to call it that. He literally had a whole video admitting to it, but he deleted it once he started losing subscribers, and then everyone immediately forgot about this. Now I want you to imagine if a female creator were to do something like this. She would be harassed, threatened, probably doxxed, bullied off the internet. It happens to female creators for less, literally for the sound of their voices. So why do we not have the same energy when a male does something leagues worse and literally admits to it on his own channel? There is also still an entire video regarding this on YouTube right now, and yet still, this guy somehow just completely got away with this. Baffles me to this day. Moving on from that, I'm sure many of you know the creator Geisha Gaming. She's been the target of a lot of sexist-based comments and attacks over the years, but I want to talk about a more recent incident involving First Soldier Gaming. To sum up what happened, Geisha makes a video on sangria and how to kite her. Soldier makes a direct counter video to her video, basically telling her she sucks at the game and that her opinion wasn't as accurate because she was a lower tier than him. Now keep in mind, Geisha is also a high tier survivor and has been for years. I don't know if it was intentional misogyny on Soldier's part, but the entire video really did come off that way. First, why make a direct response video to someone else's video when you've never done that before? Just make your own video titled How to Kite Sangria. But this wasn't just a normal tips video, it was a direct response to Geisha's video, and Blebber, the king that he is, immediately jumped to the comments to call that out, and oh would you look at that, here comes Nub Spectre, ready to defend Soldier and inform him that yes, this was about sexism. But I suppose it's okay because it's normal where Nub Spectre lives. Why did I bring all of this up? Because it's always men getting away with shit. There is no shot a woman in this community could have gotten away with anything they did, and they shouldn't have. I'm not saying women should get away with more. I'm saying the men should be held accountable and to the same standards as the women. Again, people are so much quicker to jump on hate campaigns for female creators for them making a single mistake, while the men could get away with setting a nuclear reactor off and y'all would call them your pookies and blindly defend them no matter how much evidence there was against them. Still not convinced? Don't worry. Let's rapid fire some more examples. IDV Tomo, YouTuber and TikToker. Someone started a rumor she was racist and boom, she got doxxed and quit the internet. Tracy Cat, well-known TikToker, got made fun of for how she looked and practically bullied off the internet.
This community is absolutely horrible for anyone's mental health, including mine. This community is misogynistic. Not only is it misogynistic, it's hypocritical.
You don't see this happening to any men in this community. In fact, nobody cares how they look and never bring it up. Pearl, TikToker and streams with Zeus, got bullied and made fun of for... What did people make fun of her for again?
And then spamming I shit you not, a fucking 52 comment hate thread on the live stream comment section with people going back at it about how they find me and Pearl annoying, how Pearl is this, Pearl is this, Pearl is this, Pearl is this, Pearl is this. 52 fucking comments.
And am I allowed to include myself as an example here? This community has been so hateful towards me for years now that it's contributed to me quitting the game. Misogyny is so normalized in this community, I hadn't even recognized it as an existing problem, and instead myself was actively engaging in it, believing rumors and lies about female creators without doing any real research into them, like I would for male creators. Like I said, it's so normalized you don't even notice you're part of the problem. The first time I really had a wake-up call about this was a recent situation involving myself and Santy Devil. And no, I'm not hating on Santy Devil. This whole drama was very silly, and both of us recognized that and made up. Rather, I wanted to bring this up because of the way the community reacted reacted to this drama. So let's go over the basics of what happened. Santy Devil and me play a rank match. My friends were emoting at Santy Devil. Santy makes a video about it calling emoting toxic. Now, again, very silly drama, not serious in the slightest, and yet Santy Devil's fans immediately began to harass me and my friends from that match, literally sending us death threats over emoting. Now imagine if a female creator were to post a video saying emoting is toxic. And this has actually happened before, and guess what happened? She gets immediately jumped and made fun of. And I'm not here to discuss if emoting is toxic or not, that's not the point of this video, and I really don't care that much, but it just really opened my eyes when I saw how people were immediately jumping to defend Santy, and even some of them straight up babying him about this whole thing and saying the most heinous things about me over emoting. And I wasn't even the one that was emoting. I've noticed lately that male creators aren't just more liked and more defended by the community, but they are straight up infantilized and babied by their audiences to the point it becomes parasocial, and the creators themselves seem to have no problem with it. I won't go into detail on how bad parasocial relationships are, because I'm sure most of you already know, but I don't think these creators understand that you absolutely have to check your audiences about these things and make sure it doesn't get to this point. Not only do your fans literally attack and harass other creators to defend you, but they will literally hate on your other friends as well out of jealousy. Not to mention, if you have an overwhelmingly parasocial fan base, if your audience ever turns on you, have fun getting doxxed, because these people have absolutely no sanity whatsoever. You have to check your audience. It may seem fine when your fans are defending you tooth and nail over an emote, but these are not healthy relationships to have with your fans, and they can absolutely turn on you. It's not good to idolize any creator, male or female, and you have to remember, we are still just people like you. We are not special in any way from you, and you shouldn't treat us like we are. I've noticed the Identity 5 community in general seems to have these relationships with their male creators exclusively. There's not a single female creator I can name that has had this level of devotion and dedication to defending them. People are also more likely to change their opinions to suit male creators as well. The example I made earlier was that women who have said emoting is toxic were clowned on and disagreed with, while in Santy Devil's case, his entire audience seemed to agree with him immediately and jump me for it. I highly doubt all of these people genuinely thought emoting was toxic. What seems to be the more likely case here is that people were actively changing their own opinions to better suit the male streamer they admired, which is insane and highly unhealthy, and seems to be the case for a lot of men in this community, where female creators have to walk on eggshells and be dodging random lies people make up about us to not get canceled. The men can quite literally say whatever they want and express their honest opinions, and if their fans disagree with them, they will simply change their opinions so they feel more connected to the streamer. It's genuinely infuriating, especially if you've personally been through it like I have multiple times over the course of years. This video will change nothing, I'm almost sure of it, and yet I still wanted to make it as a memento of the rage I felt towards this community over the last 5 years I've been a part of it. I really hope I was able to open your eyes a little to this problem, and if you have a story of your own, please feel free to share in the comments. The worst part is this isn't just an Identity 5 problem, this is something you'll see in every community on the internet. Misogyny is a deep-rooted problem in society in general, and it seeps into every aspect of our lives to the point you don't even notice it anymore unless you're actively looking. I urge people in this community to call out this behavior when you see it. Stop letting men get away with things you wouldn't let women get away with. Treat everyone equal and stop babying these male creators. I promise they're not gonna die if you have a different opinion than them. Thank you and goodbye, Identity 5 community.